In this box, we have rad powered bikes, first ever electric tricycle, and some of the coolest accessories. Andrew, do you have the accessories?
Got 'em. Yeah, it's got speeds up to like 13, 14 miles per hour. Stable for people with mobility issues.
Let's get opening. Should we start with the big boy?
Yeah, let's start with the big boy. Package really neat. I was surprised they were able to fit a trike in this size of a box, but I also figured there was going to be assembly needed when I saw how small it was.
So this is pretty incredible. This is probably the most organized packing job I've ever seen.
And this is a nice manual. Rad Power Bikes is a USA-based company. We do see that US-based companies have a lot better instructions than the companies that drop ship from China. That's a cool charger. Yeah, we get so many chargers that look alike, and it's nice that this is branded as Rad Power Bikes and looks like a wall mount, so that's nice. Yeah, it says it's a 48 volt 2 amp output. A lot of times we get these bikes and they have like a ton of different bolts, and I'm supposed to figure out what they're for, so I like that it's labeled. That's kind of cool. We've never seen a light with the heatsink on there. You should be using a torque wrench for these. You look at any professional bike company, every single bolt that's on a bike has a torque setting, where 90% of the e-bikes don't have any type of torque settings for the bolts. Pretty much done.
So when I saw this big box at the mailbox, I thought this was gonna be a pain in the butt to set up. We've actually been able to set this up quite quickly. All right, this bike was packaged really, really well. No damage, nothing bent. It was 100% intact, but there's a lot of packaging. Check this all out.
There's two things on the installation guide that were very interesting. You need torque wrenches and you need bike grease. But yeah, for your average Joe, by the time you spend money to buy the torque wrench and the bike grease, you really could have paid for a professional to set up your bike. And now we've got everything done except the battery. Put it back in. So really simplistic. Yeah, let's get the bike freshly charged while we set up these other accessories.
And then take this bike for a ride. This is the agility test right here. Yep. Oh, I made it. So this thing's looking pretty rad. Tell us about the RadTrike. Let's do a walkthrough.
So yeah, let's start with the cockpit. On the left side, you have a mechanical disc brake lever with an emergency brake. This is nice. On other trikes we've tested in the past, the emergency brake was really hard to engage. Right below that, you have a bell. Right next to the brake lever, you have a pedal assist level display. There is nothing that shows you your speed, so you're gonna need your phone if you wanna track your speed. And the max speed you're gonna get on this is 14 miles per hour. One cool feature that we've never seen on an e-bike is it has a reverse option. You just hold down the down button and it goes into reverse, and we'll start going backwards. These are BMX style handlebars. On the right side, you have a half twist throttle. In the lower pedal assist levels, you're not gonna get a lot of power. So if you want a lot of power, you need this in pedal assist 0 or pedal assist 3 and up. At the bottom of this cable wrap, you have this extension piece where you can hook up a USB dongle. You just take this off and then purchase the extra piece from Rad Power. Nice that you have the quick ability to tap into the battery and charge things. Right below that, you have this extension piece to where you have foldable handlebars. This bike doesn't really get compact, so just know it's not the most portable bike out there. You can pull out the seat to make it smaller, but this is about the smallest footprint you're gonna get unless you take the bike apart. So really simple to get these handlebars back on, to snap it right back into place, and it's really secure. You have 4 bolts so you can mount a front basket. You have a light with the heat sink on it. This is one of the few bikes from Rad Power that has a metal fender. You have a 18 by 2.25 inch street tire. In the middle of the wheel, you have a 750 watt hub motor and 180 millimeter brake disc with 2 piston mechanical disc brakes. One thing I did notice on the site is they said you won't ever be able to get the 750 watts of power due to regulatory reasons. I understand that it's mainly to keep people in balance, because on a trike, if you're going anything past 14 miles per hour, it becomes a little bit unstable when you're taking turns. Coming to the center of the trike, you have a 48 volt 10 amp hour battery, so it's 480 watt hours. You can remove this by pushing down and then it pops right out. So you can charge this inside or leave this inside during the winter time so you can store it and keep the lithium batteries working nicely. It is a single gear. It's a 42 teeth chainring, plastic pedals, and you do have some coaster brakes on here.
And so with coaster brakes, when you pedal backwards, it'll stop the bike kind of like when you were a kid riding that first bike you ever rode.
One neat thing is about the seat is it can go all the way down and accommodate riders of 4 feet 10, and then go all the way up to fit riders that are 6 feet 4 inches. The seat also has an adjustable backrest. Really sharp that they built this at an angle. A lot of these seats are built on a straight post. The reason why it's built at an angle is to accommodate the different heights so they can have the correct pedal stance. Below the seat, you have a 750 watt controller, and then you have this rear rack that can hold a basket, or you can hold all sorts of different accessories that you can find on the website. You do have more metal fenders in the rear over both tires. You don't see any type of mechanical brakes just because it's the backpedaling brakes, coaster brakes in the rear. The rear rack does have a 60-pound weight capacity. And then let's show you what it looks like underneath so I can show you the chassis.
Okay, we're gonna head back. We're gonna pick up Milo. He's been cooped up at home all day by himself, so we're gonna actually take him for a little joyride with some of the accessories that this RadTrike came with. It's gonna be awesome. We were heading up that hill and the front tires started spinning out. Why do you think that would happen?
There's a lot of torque on this. It's a 750 watts and it has some pretty good low end torque. Yeah, you can feel it hit 14 miles per hour and then it just stops. So I'm sure if you're smarter than I am, you could unlock it, but there's a reason why they're capping you out at 14 miles per hour for safety reasons. So there's definitely some advantages to this trike over the electric trike. And one thing I find is the balance and the emergency brakes are some of the biggest things, and having reverse as an option. Go back right into place. There's a quick release for this trailer where you can remove this pin and pull off the trailer. This way you don't have to remove this bolt every time and just take the trailer off for when you're hauling your kids or your dogs, and then put it back on. Slap that pin in there and you're good to go. You do have a safety leash that you can wrap around the frame just in case the trailer was to become disconnected.
I will say this does feel more stable than some of the other trikes that we've tried in the past. I think that's because the wheelbase behind me is wider. And with the trailer, Milo's not a heavy dog. He's what, like 20, 25 pounds? But pulling this trailer with the dog, no problem. I can't even tell he's back there other than I'm hearing this little rattling every now and then. But this is really nice and smooth. Go, Milo. Good boy. Good boy. So this is not meant for off-roading. All right, wide load. You gotta make sure you're aware of your surroundings when you're riding this thing. Lots to like about this trike. If you're in the market for a tricycle, you have a lot to choose from. This tricycle in particular by Rad Powers, they know what they're doing. They've been around for a long time and they make a very quality product. The thing that I love about this bike is how it came to us. It came in a very small box and I thought, man, this is gonna take a lot of work unboxing and putting together, but actually it didn't require all that much work. Nothing was damaged, so really impressed with the packing job. This is a very sleek frame. It's a wide base, and so when I'm riding on it, it's steady. I never felt like I was going to teeter or fall over. It took a little bit to get used to riding this, just a few minutes, and I felt really comfortable with it.
Mainly comparing this to the other trike that we've tested and reviewed on the channel, there's just a few features that I think this will fit people with mobility issues better. I had my friend's mom riding the electric trike, and she has arthritis issues, and she was having so many issues engaging the emergency brake. I like that this emergency brake is very easy to lock into place. The other thing is the simplicity of having reverse on here. You don't really realize how much you need reverse on a trike. You can always get off and kind of wheel it backwards, but the fact that this allows you just to turn it on with a simple press of the button and go backwards, very nice for parking and just for ease of navigating tight spaces. I do love that they have the coaster brakes as well. Coaster brakes make a ton of sense for a trike simply because there's no type of kickstand and the bike just tends to roll. So the fact that you can just press back on the pedals to get it to stop, really good safety feature, especially for people with mobility issues and they're trying to get on and off the trike itself. The accessories are very nice that they're custom made for all the bike. They're branded Rad Power and super easy to put together. The trailer, I was able to put it together in less than a minute. Very intuitive. So I love that the accessories are seamless.
In addition to the assembly is just the quality of the design and the materials used. I think this is one of those things that you would feel comfortable spending a little bit more money to get something nicer and of higher quality.
And then I do love that they use metal fenders on the bike. I love that you have the adjustable backrest, and you can also adjust this for as low as 4 feet 10 inches and as high as 6 feet 4 inches.
We're gonna ride to our next stop and talk about the things that we don't like about this bike.
Yeah, we were over at that dog park and Milo was being ultra protective of the pet trailer. It was so funny. Any dog that got close to the pet trailer, he started barking at him. This is my house.
This is his house. Okay, it's getting dark, and so let's go ahead and talk about the things that can improve on the RadTrike. Cable management, it's okay. The neoprene sleeve, it's kind of a preference thing. Some people like it, some people don't. It is certainly convenient that you can take off the sleeve easily to get to the cables, but not the cleanest look in my opinion.
Battery's pretty small. It's only a 10 amp hour battery. You can buy the other Rad Power bike batteries and fit them onto this, but for the price, I feel like it should include a bigger battery.
And then clearance on this, I did notice the clearance was a little low.
I understand what Jimmy's talking about. It's not the best clearance, but this is the most easily accessible e-bike that Rad Power offers, and it's going to be designed for people with mobility issues. The light itself, it's decent, but I feel like it could be brighter. I do like the coaster brakes. However, I wish that the front brake was a hydraulic brake.
Coaster brakes are certainly handy. The problem though is I'm having to retrain my brain to use the coaster brake. And then the display itself, it's kind of rudimentary, very simple. We've seen bikes that cost a lot less that have much nicer displays.
This area, you can assemble a rear rack. It would have been nice if they just included either a rear rack or a front rack as part of the price.
And then as I was riding this, it was very noticeable, all the cracks and bumps that I was going over. And so just having a seat post suspension would make a world of difference, especially on longer rides.
Ooh, look at that power.
All right, another agility test here. Let's see if Andrew can make it with the trailer on. Tight turn.
Nice.
We made it. The Rad-powered RadTrike is pretty darn rad. It's not for everyone, but if you're looking for a tricycle, this may be the one for you. Why should someone look into getting this electric tricycle?
This would be perfect for people with mobility and balance issues who just don't feel comfortable being on an e-bike.
We have our full written review at freshlycharged.com. Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, remember to wear your safety gear.